Dragon Ball time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today I'm going to have a look at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Super Frieza. And this one is, they call it Fukkatsu or Resurrection. I mean, it's basically the 2018 re-release, new I mean, we're going to see what's new and what's recycled from the previous Frieza. I have the old one on the side over there. Don't worry, we'll have a look at that. But first and foremost, I want to start off by looking at this guy over here and what he has to offer. So what actually is new? I mean, by the first look, not a lot. Like, I'm honestly a little bummed out already. But one step after another, we're going to have a look at size. He stands at about 11.5 centimeters to the top of his head, which means a little over 4.5 inches tall, 4'6", 4'7". And, okay, first things first, we got a couple of head sculpts. I'm gonna have a look at this one first, which, has a little bit of a dent over there. Mold in it is not the cleanest. Paint job is good. And I tried to take this off. I tried to take the purple thing off, and I did not succeed. But, if you succeed, let me know. Because this hat comes with a hole. That's why I got the halo in there. Because you got this hat with the hole and all the other hats don't have a hole. If you want to have this hat without the halo, you're gonna have a hole. Unless you can take the purple over here off. I don't know, I tried pulling at it, I don't want to break anything obviously. But for the rest of it, the face looks good, it looks like Frieza. He has a little bit more of the round nose. This eye seems to be bigger though than the other one. It seems to go a little bit more to the side. His tail also keeps popping off, it's not in there extremely tight, but the mold overall, it looks good. I mean, obviously there's not that much to talk about. It is Frieza. They did a design choice, which I don't know if I think it's good or bad. Before the last Frieza edition, you had white in here, which obviously broke up the skull. Now they have the ball joints in a darker purple, not the metallic one, so it still sticks out a little bit, but a lot less than the white. Unfortunately, because of that, they also have the ball joints in the chest now in a dark purple. I'm just gonna give you another overlook of the figure. Like I'm saying, it's Frieza, guys. I mean, you're not gonna get more than this. Thinking of it, now we have two Friezas and a golden Frieza. Wouldn't it be time to make, like, I don't know, base form Frieza? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. For your articulation, first of all, the head does wiggle around a little bit. Just go back and forth. Let me push a little bit more on that. Back, nicely, forward. Yeah, okay, good. To the side. And all the way around. And then the neck also has some rotation in it. Does wiggle a little bit to the side and does go back and forth. And then we get to the shoulder pieces. Of course, that's the big piece of the bait. And there's nothing too fancy in it. You have the double ball combination with a hinge in the shoulder. Gets the job done. I mean, for Frieza, I like it. If you had too much butterfly joints and whatnot in there, it would just break up the sculpt. And then his bicep swivel disconnects. Weird with this guy. So yeah, it goes up and rotates around, as you can see. Just giving you another look. Can you bring it forward? Yeah, a little bit. So you got that, you got a bicep swivel, you got the double hinged elbow. And that is more like the old school one, where this hinge moves all the way up and the bottom hinge doesn't move up so much. So really, like I'm saying, I don't think they got a lot of new tech into this guy. The fist rotates around, brings it back and forth, and usually when they do a re-release like that, they improve some stuff. When they do just a repaint, they basically call it repaint, like the special version, which they did with Vegeta and Trunks. The premium version, where they gave them a new paint job. That was clear from the start. But this guy wasn't really clear if this was gonna be some improvements or not. And yeah, I'm not seeing anything, guys, right now. So for your torso articulation, you got the chest moves back and forth. The plate over here has a bit of a movement in it, so you can bring that back and forth. Cover it up, will not get in the way. That's pretty cool, and it does go side to side. And you can bring them also around. Down at the torso, basically the same thing, and there goes the tail again. Well, it's kind of limited. Yeah, they don't really have much room with the big crotch piece over there. The tail, which keeps popping off, Has a big ball with a hinge on it, so you can rotate it around. Rotate it around. Rotate it around. Okay, mine doesn't. Okay, wow. This is kind of awful. But it rotates around and off. Okay. So I guess it doesn't rotate around. You have to push it in and rotate it around. And you have a hinge. Enough of that. Then the legs, that's old school stuff. You have the hinge that's connected to the crotch piece. And then it ends on a ball joint. So you can bring it forward. You can bring it to the back. And you can bring it to the side. And you can rotate it around at this piece over there, having a 5 swivel. Double hinge knees, leaves a bit of a gap at the top, and the bottom is okay. It's nicely molded though. There goes the tail again, and the foot has a big ball hinge, so you can bring that back and forth, can rotate it to the side, and all the way around, so that's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's Frieza, but I already have a Frieza like this. But what about the accessories? Again, basically the same thing. I think the one thing they swapped up are the faces, having this face. I remember he had one where he had the battle damage. But yeah, the yelling face with the veins on it. I think that's the exact same that we had before. Then we got energy effects, once again. They're a little bit more shiny metallic this time around. I remember the original release being a lot more see-through. But you have the exact same stuff. Just it pops a lot more. I mean, I like that, it's cool. Still have this handle over here which you just connect to his forearm. You have the crossed arms, that's a classic. Actually a big fan of those, so you know, keep those coming. Have a different tail for choking Vegeta. I think that was it. And also, what I didn't talk about the last time, you have a swivel in here which you can take off. And then you have his tail cut off, which you know, is a thing. Is a thing that happens in the show. I mean, by the end of the fight against Goku, and then Trunks, well, Trunks kind of cuts him up in a lot of pieces. And we got these feet, which for the original release had some peg holes because he could stand on an extra base shaped like a rock. We don't have that this time. Then we got the blast hands, fingernails, nicely painted, and we got some well, your energy effect when he blasts people in the face, or through the chest, more precisely. And then we have some more open hands just for posing stuff. Once again, with the painted fingernails, everything is in order. And while we don't get the rock base, they at least give us a regular base this time around. And I'm always giving them flack, because usually they do a base for like an energy effect. This time they actually added the claw. So if you want to have just the energy effect, you can do that, but if you want to have the claw, you can still at least put your Frieza on a base. And that's, you know, I gave him crap so many times when I had a review and they added a base and just had a base with an arm and no claw to put your figure on it. So I'm going to give him props this time for actually adding a claw, so I can use the base however I want to, either for an energy effect or to pose my Frieza with it. Thank you, Figuarts. So now the big question, which Frieza is better? And I didn't want to knock this one over, but take that as a hint, I'm guessing. So, here's the rock base I talked about. I mean, I did already review this guy, so you can go back and watch that one. But yeah, we're gonna have a look bottom to toe, I mean tail to toe. What? So let's see what we have over here. The faces, first of all. I mean, the lipstick is a lot less on the newer version. It is basically the same face though. This is not, just a little bit more exaggerated. In the smile, I mean, the purple goes a little bit more over to the bluish, to a bluish tone. To me, I am colorblind though, so excuse me. This just looks a lot more purple to me, and this is a little bit more darker. Going a little tiny bit into a blue. Also, this one has shading, lots of shading, going on all throughout the body, and makes it look better. Also makes it look darker though. I mean, you can tell this one is a lot brighter. And yeah, I mean, for the rest of it, the entire body sculpt, the entire articulation parts, it's the exact same thing. They didn't change a damn thing. Maybe the chest, is the chest a little bit more narrow over there? I don't know. If it is, it's really minimal. And you have the weird dot in the back over here. I don't actually know what it's for. They removed that, so that's fine. But yeah, unfortunately they also removed the shading, so that's not fine. Really, the only thing you got with this guy is the halo, and this guy had an entire cool rock base, which they did a lot at the beginning. They also got some crazy stuff for Cell back then. Also got some crazy stuff for Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but yeah, they don't do the super crazy stuff anymore. And just for the record, let me have Golden Frieza in here. I always put him in the same pose. I don't know why I do that, but I just like the finger poke of doom. So yeah, let me just hold on to them real quick. So we got a nice little family picture of everybody. Daddy, I want to go over there. We don't have a daddy. We need a daddy. King Cold, where you at? I'm just gonna go over to the final thoughts of this and tell you my final thoughts. This figure on its own is good. It's damn good actually, and I think that's the reason why they didn't really change much. I just expected a little bit, like only the legs really. Only I think could have had a little more improvement in the legs over here, except for having this big crotch piece, which kind of blocks. It still goes up very nicely, but that's the one thing. I mean, for the rest of it, it is nice. You don't have any new accessories. You don't really have any one new face, but then you don't have the other face for the previous one. But before I ramble even on, so single review, this figure by itself is good. Go out there and buy it. But if you already have this guy, I don't think you need it. Quite frankly, I honestly, like I'm saying, I prefer this guy overall with the paint job and whatnot, and the detail in it. Overall, I'm a tiny bit disappointed, but still, like I'm saying, this is a damn solid figure, and in the end, I guess I understand why they didn't change anything up, because it didn't really need a lot of fixing, except for in the shoulders, which, if they fix it or made it worse, that's up to you. You can decide that. But anyway, I mean, that's gonna do it as usual, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, gameplay stuff, and whatever Lord Frieza wants. Ooh, okay, that wasn't. Was that a Frieza laugh? I don't know. Frieza! How I got so, you know what I'm